That shows you guys how cold it's been the last couple days. And you can see the little bird footprints on top of it. They're like, why can I not get this dang fish under there, man? Come on. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. The entire United States has been pretty much frozen for the last 4 days, and I haven't touched a disc. Just kind of been in the gym, working out, running, all that good stuff, and been itching to get back out, throw some discs. Today, we find ourselves at the MetCenter Disc Golf Course, a course that has been critical to my come up as a player, a great practicing grounds for working on those open, windy style courses with dangerous greens. I haven't been back here to the MetCenter, I believe, since last year's Vlogmas, so over a year since I've been out here, so I'm excited to try it out, see how it's changed. I know a lot of trees are marked to be taken down, and it's a course that's already lost a lot of trees, so sad to see that kind of still decaying out here, but hopefully maybe there's some new life coming to MetCenter in the future. In case you forgot, I'm Connor O'Reilly with Team Lone Star Disc, Team OTB Discs, and recently announced Discology. That's gonna be the bags that I'm carrying. Can't wait to show y'all this Icon bag. I've carried it for a couple rounds now since my in the bag, and I really love it. This is just gonna be a traditional practice round, getting ready to go out on the tour here soon, so hope you guys enjoy. Throughout the course, we're gonna see a bunch of these trees marked with the orange kind of pinkish ribbon. These are all marked to come down, so I'm happy I get to come through here one more time while it still has trees, because it's going to be pretty wide open at some point in the future. Excited to see how they redesign it though. Hole 1, 645 feet, plays uphill the entire way. First shot, you really only have one gap, but then there's a big crepe myrtle in the middle of that flight that if you can get past, there's kind of a dual approach into this green. I've always enjoyed this hole. You can kind of pick fairway driver or distance driver off the tee, but with the uphill nature, I like taking that distance driver. And knowing that the further left I skip, the more options I have, the driver also kind of opens that up. Seeing as we have some pretty strong wind coming from the left to right, I'm gonna go warbird here. The crepe myrtle. Oh, skip just in front of it. And I got an option into the green. Looks like a straight shot available. Ideally, I'd clear a few feet further to avoid this ditch that I'm gonna have in my run up here. But I have a straight shot available. Check out this new Delta 2 penny putter. Oh my gosh, going. Holy crap, y'all. That was into some headwind. The Delta penny putters hold a line exactly like the premium plastic versions, and they've been a fantastic addition to the Lone Star lineup. I know the soil compaction's always been big at the MetCenter, so it's good to see fresh mulch around those baskets to help kind of offset that. Hole 1 and 2 out here at the MetCenter start you off on some of the more difficult holes. I've always kind of enjoyed that. Par is going to play fine. Birdies are going to separate you from the field on these two holes, especially hole 2. 649 feet. You're going to jog to the left in the middle part of the hole with a lot of out of bounds surrounding this one. Any hole I've found recently that I have a bayonet in my hands off the tee, I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling fresh and ready to bomb it, because this disc has been a godsend for me distance-wise. See if I can beat the crepe myrtle tree out there. That's our key point on these first two holes. Funnily enough, is a big kind of spidery crepe myrtle tree that if you can get beyond that, you're usually in a great spot. Oh, I got flat on that. I'm gonna be on the tall side, but if I can skip left, okay, I didn't get the leftness I needed, but I got enough distance. Birdie is still available. A little deep here. I'm gonna be pinched off the wide open angle that I wanna take. Playing into this headwind at 330 feet with out of bounds, surrounding the basket on all sides, effectively a peninsula. I'm gonna go tombstone, forehand, play it out towards this stand of trees on the left, hope for some late fade. I'd like to go spur, but the headwind's a little strong for me, so I'm gonna bump up in speed. Oh, that was higher than I intended, and I got through the tree branches looking at a putt. Almost floated on the wind with the blue bonnet there, but I played it pretty soft, pretty safe. And one thing that MetCenter has been so important for me in my disc golf journey, Roy G really taught me how to shape fairway drivers, how to play good grinding, good shots off the tee. But at MetCenter, it taught me to game plan. It taught me to know when to be aggressive, when to play a shorter shot off the tee, when to be safe on the green, when to be aggressive on the green. So I credit MetCenter with helping me kind of see those lines in the open space, double down on those lines when you have multiple options available to you, play in the wind and play on those scary greens. So between MetCenter and Roy G, they really helped shape me as a player. And I owe a lot of my game to having great courses like these to practice. Plus we got this beautiful spring-fed pond. I know people go fishing in there. Apparently it's 30 plus feet deep down in the middle there. Nice little cave kind of. Who's got their scuba gear? Let's go spelunking, y'all. If you've never been to MetCenter, you might step on the tee of hole 3 and say, who in their left mind aimed it this way? Not really sure. Apparently this course used to have endless amounts of trees, and we've lost so many over the years. Sad to see that our only tree between us and the basket here is also marked to go, as well as the closest one on the right side. So there's literally going to be nothing in the way in this hole anymore, except for that creek on the left side that's always looming, only about bullseye's edge to the left. So you really got to control your fade here. Play a nice controllable ground play shot, whether you want to go forehand or backhand, they're both available. I'm going to go horny toed backhand. The new Alpha Glow holds up even in that Texas wind. So I get that gentle fade back left and a little ground play. Yeah, just how this hole likes it. I see a lot of people play that forehand as well. As long as you don't flip it, you should have a chance to maybe ace run it, come back safe. But backhand's the king of the game. We all know that. Out here at Met C, hole 3 has always felt like a must get. It can be one of those 2 or 4 holes though, with the out of bounds so close, even though you should probably make the putt if you do go out of bounds right here next to the basket. So I think play this one aggressive, choose the right disc, pick up your birdie, and move on. We're going from maybe the highest birdie rate on the course to arguably one of the lowest here in hole 4. Used to be old hole 17 in the old layout. At 550 or so feet, it's not the longest par 4, but this one demands respect. Mandatory keeping us to the left of this big tree trunk here. We got the out of bounds creek snaking up the entire right side, and it's gonna fork around the island green. The most fun feature of this hole is definitely that island green. Very unique, not a thing that you get to see a lot of in Austin disc golf. Always been one of my favorite holes here. A number of ways to play it. Before the Mando, you could maybe kind of go aggressive and try to run something on it, but it got a little too inconsistent the way people would play that, and I like that they mandatoried it, force you to play this left side. I'm gonna go with that Alpha Glow Dos X. See how it handles this bit of headwind. A little hyzer stand up. Hyzer, there's that stand up, and it's looking to fade, which is the safe miss, so I'm okay with that positioning. I'm gonna have awkward footwork, but I'm in that range where birdie is definitely a high percentage chance. Yeah, right here in this drainage run, that can make the footwork odd. If you can get past it, you're really in the green. Since I can't do a run up, I'm gonna go to the forehand. Just debating if I want to play the flex shot or kind of the skinny flat hyzer. I think I'm gonna go for that flat hyzer look. Keep the nose up. Get up. Oh. Found myself in that water that separates the fairway and the green here. Should be an easy par though. At 654 feet, Hole 5 is going to have a couple different options off this tee. There's a traditional kind of straight shot here that plays over the out of bounds creek. I don't really love that one. I typically will go with a safer high hyzer over this right side gap that some people fly low of. There's also this huge flex turning distance line to the left for those greedy players like myself. And you know, when you grow up in the South, your mama teaches you, if you want that biscuit, you got to risk it. And I'm going bayonet, not blue bonnet. That would be fruitless. Bayonet, sending it on some turn. Hopefully this wind will help me hold it. This is for you guys, you know, this is for y'all. That's all I gotta say. Come out of it. Yes. Can I beat the treetops? Wow, I got the clean flight out to the field. He's a big guy. I've been working out, you know, I might have been frozen the last 4 days, but I've been in the gym, getting ready. That shows you guys how cold it's been the last couple days. You can see the little bird footprints on top of it. They're like, why can I not get this dang fish under there, man? Come on. If you've ever played that over the top shot, you know getting to the meadow is kind of the Valhalla of places you can end. If you can get in here into the meadow, give yourself a short up shot, you're sitting pretty. 260 in, I'm gonna hit on the bull snake, show you guys just how stable it is in that headwind. And on that left edge the whole time, but it doesn't really fade because it's so overstable. Got to the ground, inside the circle, we'll take it. Well, I made that drive, make this hole so easy, and then I just left it out there. That's pretty disappointing, you guys. Pretty disappointing, but at least I got this beautiful mosaic work to look at. Thanks to my guy, Dan Mueller. Josh Rippey, Matt Papa and crew. Those guys always doing good work around the Austin area disc golf courses, and they deserve the appreciation because things like that add character to a course and just make it that much more beautiful. Hole 6 MetCenter, better known as Mirkwood, better known as the old hardest starting hole in possibly Texas disc golf. This one used to be the most intimidating starting hole really you could step up to. Par 4, out of bounds creek on this left side. This very skinny right side taking you away from the out of bounds, but not leading you really to the promised land unless you pure it. I like playing it over the left side here with the forehand, fading it back in bounds, because I think if I can get aggressive off the tee and score a 3 on this hole, you're really gaining strokes on the field. I'm gonna go flat top warbird, low, a little bit of hyzer. Oh, that is left of the creek. I'm gonna need a miracle. Okay, skipped off the water. We're gonna see how that OB line is drawn. I might have got super lucky. We'll play a provisional from up a ways and we'll see where it is. All right, I'm gonna assume I went out right around here. And we're gonna play a provisional. I'm hoping I'm in bounds up there, but chances are slim. Bayonet forehand, never done before. Heard good things. Can confirm. Flies well on the forehand. And I think I just got to the edge of the trees up there, maybe 1 or 2 trees in front of me in the basket. But I'll have an opportunity to save that bogey, which when you're taking out of bounds here, that's honestly just fine. Guys, we had an OB string line and it's died somewhere. My disc is dry, but impossible to tell if I'm in bounds or not. So since this is my channel, I'm gonna call it in bounds. And we're gonna play it like that, because there's been times where I've skipped into this little pocket and it's been in bounds. It just depends how tight they're gonna make the line here. But seeing as I can stand behind my disc, see, standing, I'll wait. I'm gonna play this one. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll throw it better next time and then we won't have to have any debates. I'm gonna take my meter, roughly. And now I'm looking at a pretty ideal position. If I can hit that baby flex forehand, maybe show you guys the kind of torque that the horny toad can handle in this new Alpha Glow. Oh my gosh. 2 inches lower, I just parked it. Instead, another disappointing throw. It's okay. It's a beautiful day. I'm playing disc golf. Life is good. Gotta keep perspective out here on the course, you guys. You feel yourself getting all down, upset about a bad throw. Remind yourself, I'm choosing to be out here. Well, at least for the most part, you should be choosing to be out here. And I'm able-bodied, and I'm having fun being outside. As long as it's 70 degrees and you're in Austin, Texas, because if you're somewhere else and it's colder than that, you're probably not having fun, and I'm sorry for you. We're in that hope and prayer range. I don't really want to do the soft throw. Got this little tree in my way, but I'm gonna just swing a jumper with that V2 penny putter. Nope, out of my range, and I just ran away a little bit. We got work to do. Not out of the woods yet here on 6. Oh, and he does it out of them without grabbing a stroke. The wrong way. I didn't grab one. Of course, grabbed one back. Hole 6 will do it. You know, I've taken 3s, I've taken 6s, I've taken 7s, 8s probably. I once watched a guy take a 13 trying to play it out over the parking lot before they mandoed that off. He didn't show up for the tournament the next day. With a course like the MetCenter, in my mind, there's always kind of been a flow to it. Through the first 6 holes, I always kind of give myself a little bit of a break if I'm not playing well. Say I'm even 2 up through the first 6, knowing that a couple of the hardest holes on the course are in the beginning of this course. Starting at hole 7, you can really get a streak going historically here. So I kind of take those first 6 holes with a grain of salt, try to get off to a good start, but if I'm not in a great place, I kind of take a reset here on 7 and go bombs away, because it's 732 feet. And the green is really the main sketchy part about it with that mounded green. There's also out of bounds on both sides. But if you're bombing a bayonet, you're not worried about that stuff. You're just grabbing distance by the yard. Ugh. Nice little flat hold on that guy. Fought the fade and got a massive skip into the bottom of the hill. Hopefully check rolled back down. We're looking close. We're looking good. Not the longest approach here, but on this green, I'm always mindful of trying to set myself up with a tailwind putt. So I'm gonna keep that at the forefront of my head as I choose my shot. Going bull snake, I'm gonna choose this right side. Just try to get maybe midway up the hill if I can. That's a little soft. Gonna get down in time? Oh no, you guys. I got a long putt on a sketchy green. I've had a couple of sloppy upshots, throwing good drives, but I need to clean it up on my short approaches out here, especially in this much wind. Another foot or two, I would have cleared the reaches of this grabby tree right here and probably been sitting close. But now I got a scary putt. You know we're sending it though. Oh man, hit the top. Hopefully it sat, but who knows? This green's been mean to me in the past, so hopefully it was nice this time. All right, my upshots have cost me a lot of strokes, so I need to clean up those 250 footers. That's the goal for the rest of my round. Focus up. Hole 8's 570 feet. It doglegs to the right, out of bounds, kind of left and right side of this fairway. It's all about placement off this first tee, setting up the upshot that you're looking for. For me, that's something in the range of a 250 foot forehand or so. And to get there, I can play a straight shot with the mid-range, like the Texas Ranger. A little bit of ride and looking for it to fade now. Kind of got smashed down. I'm a bit right of where I'd like to be, maybe 30 or 40 feet. So I'm gonna have a steeper angle than I like on the forehand, but still very manageable. About 250 feet in, I'm tucked to the right, so I'm gonna have to use a little bit more height on this upshot and really hug it tight to this tree hanging over the water here. Yeah, left to right, kind of tailwind, just killing them. Not allowing the disc to fade. Right to left wind, water deep. There it is. Flick it up there, let the wind do the rest. And there used to be a tree on that side of the fairway, or on the green, and this side, to where here and there you had some straddle putts, but now wide open here. Nothing but the water to get in your way. On a tee of 9, we're sitting at 1 down. A little bit rusty, kind of still thawing out from that cold 4 days that we had. But the back 9 is the perfect time to get it rolling, and hole 9 is the perfect place to start or to keep it going, since, you know, we just got one there on hole 8 with a good putt. I'm going spur on this 340 footer. Key is to give this one the nose up angle that you need so that it can fade to the left. Out of bounds right and long. Really liking that one. Let's see if I can get any ground play. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Punched it a bit long there. Easy 350 off that spur. Thought it was money. There it is. Able to string 2 together to finish the front 9 out with a smidge of momentum at 2 down. Off to the races here for the back. Let's go. We start the back 9 with a similar shot shape to the previous hole, except for now we're playing gently down the hill, and there is a left side option available if you do want to take that forehand or the lefty backhand, but it is going to play over the out of bounds in the drainage ditch here. Usually the grass is cut a little better out here to create that link style golf with the out of bounds long cuts that would be on the right side here. That's a little bit muddled. And when it's cut right, this course is beautiful and it really plays great. When it's not mowed, it gets a little sloppy. It doesn't look as good, but I think when it's all done up and looking pretty, it deserves respect. And the overstability of the Chupacabra does as well. It should help me not go long like I did on the previous hole with the spur. So that's why I'm choosing it. Wow, even then, it was gonna skip left, but it hit a tree stump and kind of straight skipped instead. I almost went deep there. I've been working out too much, you guys. I gotta tone it down. My Chupacabra landed right here into the stump, and knowing how horizontally it really likes to skip, it would have been pretty close. So I think I chose the right shot. Played it a little bit outside of maybe where I ideally would have been, but we still got a circle's edge look. I'm loving my new crimson red icon bag. If you use code Connor10, you can save 10% on an already extremely affordable bag that's playing really well too. I'm carrying all my discs and more. You know, we were just shedding layers, we were shoving it in there. I still had room for it. We are melting out here at MetCenter, but we ain't melting down, that's for sure. Melting so much that I got pants on, yo. Bang. Melting like that turkey in that Thanksgiving oven. Let's go. At 705 feet, hole 11 has received a haircut since I last played it. These trees got pretty much chopped in half. So this open bomber line is definitely a lot more available. I'm gonna utilize this headwind, I'm gonna utilize this strong tailwind to showcase the Mockingbird's endless long flight abilities in tailwind situations. This might be a risky play, but we're here to entertain. Caw-caw! Hey! Smash it. Can it come back? Come back, Mockingbird. This way. A la izquierda. That may be short of the long cut long, or that might have been a 500-foot Mockingbird shot. Either way, I can accept the result. I'm okay with it. It's fine. I was about 15 feet long into the out of bounds, lasered it back to that T block, and it was about 500 feet with the Mockingbird in the tailwind, showcasing how sometimes you can use the wind to allow the distance to be a lot easier, whereas the 13 speed disc in that same wind is going to want to fade a lot earlier unless you really hit some speed on it. Short shot, bull snake. See if we can pin it. Come back. I got a remote control car and I just threw it. It was a shank and a half, and I probably should have thrown the blue bonnet. And I'm gonna show you guys why. Because I had tailwind and I don't need stability like I just talked about with speed. Go in. It's out of bounds long. And I shanked that really bad and I got saved. Slithered down off the slope with that bull snake. Got a bit fortunate because I shanked that upshot. Next time I throw the bull snake, I better put it to the right of the basket because it obviously wants to fade. And it's kind of weird walking from this hole to the next and not having these big droopy mesquite trees right here. I feel very vulnerable. I don't like it. Hole 12 was a lot of fun in my mind. 500 feet or 550 from the long box. You have two options off of this tee. You can go to the left side or the right side here. Out of bounds is gonna follow both sides of the fairway and kind of snake, bubble out to the left, bubble out to the right early. So you really gotta pick your spot here, and the further you go, the more options angle-wise you have into this green, but you can't go too far. So knowing that, I'm gonna go slow poke spur, try to control the distance here, make sure I give it enough height to fade left and avoid the out of bounds patch. Hoping for kind of a mild or no skip there. Yep, that's gonna play. I'm hell-bent on throwing a good shot with the bull snake, and I'm gonna utilize this opportunity to do it. Looking at probably 260, 70 feet, right to left wind, out of bounds, posted stamp green. Trust it to the right side of the basket this time, Connor. You got it. Right side, little jump up, and that is why I keep throwing the bull snake, because when you use it how it's supposed to be used and throw it to the right side of the basket if you're right-handed and playing a backhand, it will do its job and it will come back. Another thank you to Michael Spikes for hooking up this slow poke spur. Got a couple more discs coming in. I think they're getting in Saturday, so 2 more days to wait on those puppies. Next video we shoot, hopefully we'll have some of those in there as well. And you know, if anyone wants to do me a Snorlax die, I need another one in the bag. I'm gonna start stockpiling some discs. I need a Snorlax, either Warbird or Bayonet, maybe a Bayonet. We'll see. Y'all holler at me. This is one of those greens that you definitely want to be close on. I've seen plenty of people miss this slightly elevated pole, roll down to the out of bounds, go into that hobbit hole down there. We've all been there for our disc before. Just hoping that you don't grab anything wet and noodly. Another birdie. I was gonna say keeping the streak alive, but that out of bounds stroke on the last hole cost us. Either way, we're starting to move in the positive or negative direction here at MetCenter. It's good to see that hole 13 hasn't lost any trees, because it is the one and only tight wooded hole on this entire course, so kind of breaks up the flow in a way that I've always appreciated. I've seen some crazy outside lines here, but as these trees grow, that Bonner-Butler line is no longer there, can confirm. So you gotta go straight up the middle. I'm going penny putter, alpha plastic, a little bit of right to left wind here. That should be blocked by this stand of trees, but it'll still be leaking through, so gotta be conscious of it. Yep, that's how this hole goes. It's feast or famine. You either hit it, feel great, or you miss it, and you fly for about 2 seconds, and you're done. Megan threw the Bearcat, and she beat me on this one. So, you know, congrats. Good job. Little V2 penny floater. Make up for the lost stroke off the tee. Valiant effort. A little dapper tapper. Should have hit the gap, you guys. Should have done it. At 673 feet, hole 14 is gonna be one of the hardest birdies on the track and one of the few that doesn't allow anything funny, nothing high off the tee. There used to be a bit more of a high flip up shot that still had to kind of come through this gap, but the way these branches are growing in, it's really gone away. This hole reminds me of kind of Roy G with some elevation added, so I've always really appreciated this one. And I've always liked this tee shot as well as the approach. I'm going Wrangler. Pretty steep hyzer out of the hand. Looking for it to stand. There's that hyzer. Can I beat that right side? Oh my gosh, you guys, that's so annoying. Literally, if I beat that branch, that little freaking waggler, that was the prime time zone. It's okay though. Yeah, like I mentioned, caught one of the last two branches that I really needed to beat to get myself up a bit further. But I don't hate this positioning. Still can birdie with an incredible second shot. I'm gonna go warbird, punch it over the top hard as I can. See if the airways will give us success. Hey! That's what I was looking for. See if it has enough juice on it. All right, we'll find out when we get up there. The green of hole 14 met, looking out onto the pond, always one of the most serene and beautiful spots in Austin disc golf, truly. We've got our little pack of ducks that's been living here for decades now, it seems, you know, even though this course just got redesigned. But hey, was looking for my disc all over. Turns out I parked it. So thank you to this tree for allowing me through its thicket of branches as I crashed through on the over the top line. And thanks to the warbird for providing the firepower to play over the top lines like that and trust that it's still gonna fade for me predictably every time. Hole 15 is arguably the iconic signature hole of this course. You got the pond on the right side, obviously out of bounds. You don't want to be in there. Unless you're one of those people who likes diving for discs and selling them to play it against sports, in which case, you know, you're probably making a couple bucks in there every time you go. This bowl on the left side of the fairway kind of collects all the discs coming in if you do put the right angle and amount of height on it. And I was kind of worried that this tee was going to be encroached on by these low-hanging mesquites, so I'm going to have to tee from about halfway on the tee here, because anywhere closer up, I mean, it's short enough where I'm hitting my eyes on it, and then I'm definitely going to be at risk of hitting my hand on it. So I'm just going to avoid that. I'm going to take a couple extra steps back, and I'm bombing my bayonet here. I definitely want to get across the water, or at least get to that corner there. Just for y'all. Hey! Pretty safe, but we are to the corner, and yeah, that's a pretty simple birdie play. I kind of realized halfway up, I was like, wait, I'm not supposed to go all the way, and so I wasn't sure if I was going to hit my hand or not, so I'm going to blame that for a loss of about 8% power. Got to the corner, which is kind of my main goal here. Baiting yourself to go beat the corner, I think, is a little bit more fruitless than it kind of is just a prideful play. Try to show off, you know. So we're going to go bull snake. Try to pin this thing. Maybe even throw it in. That'll be the pin job. Because turns out snakes don't really jump. They stay on the ground. And you can use that to your advantage with the bull snake from Lone Star Disc. All right, gotta go flamingo putt in honor of Luke Sampson and of the flamingo Merle that you're looking at now, right there. You can never watch my guy Luke Sampson warm up. It's one of his first keys. Get them quads stretched out. Get a little upper body isolated putting. You know, I like it. Find what method works for you and do it, because that's all that matters. I believe we're up to 6 down now. So not the greatest score, but it is pretty windy out here today, and I've had a couple errant upshots early that cost me some strokes, so I feel like I'm finding a rhythm here in the back 9, and after not playing for 4 days, I can expect a little bit of a slow start, so I'll give myself some leeway. 355 feet here in hole 16. It's an island. I don't know, it was designed to play like a peninsula. It's played like an island in the past. I'm just gonna assume it's an island right now. One of the subtleties to this hole that doesn't really show is a bit of right to left slope on that green. That's going to give you a bit more of a kind of a ramp skip than you normally would get on flat ground. So make sure you land a little bit right here, and make sure you throw alpha spur, because they're good at stuff like this. Should be gentle enough up there about circle's edge right. There's that little boost skip we talked about. Let's see how my distance gauge was. It felt soft, but last time I felt good about that disc, it was long. So let's see if I'm calculating. All right, like I thought, a little bit soft here. Maybe I should laser that one next time. I wonder if it is truly 355 or not. Either way, headwind putt from C2. Oh man, so soft out of the hand. Had the line I needed. Just needed a little more want on it, you guys. Player B knows, he always knows. Sometimes you wish he'd just step up and tell you before you let it go the first time, but you gotta learn. Look how happy and active the bees are. If you've ever watched a video of me playing MetCenter, then I've probably taken you guys over here to check out the coolest thing in Austin disc golf. This fire hydrant has been the home of a beehive, a honeybee hive, for a long time now. And fortunately, they did not get froze off. They are active today, seeing as they've been cooped up, probably just trying to keep each other warm the last 4 days. Do some work today, guys, because the cold's coming back. I don't like it either. It's so cool. I think they have access to probably some of that leftover water in the drainage pipes in here. So even during the drought, they always have access to some colder, cooler underground areas if they want to go down. They have access to water. And they get to go out and be busy bees when it is a nice day like today. You want my blue bonnets, guys? I wish they were real, I'm sorry. I'll stop teasing you. I didn't expect these trees going down from the walk on 11 to 12 having an impact on the course play until I stepped up to the tee of 17 and realized there's now a big power hyzer available on this tee shot, which was never there. You always had to play a straight turning shot or a penetrating forehand down this left side to get into the premier landing zone. But now we're gonna have power hyzer available to the big arm. And since the hole is broken, I'm gonna show you guys how to take advantage of that. I'm gonna go bayonet. I'm gonna smack a hyzer, and hopefully this headwind right to left will help lift, swing it back in bounds. All right, that's what I was looking for. Beat those trees. It's one of the best drives I've ever thrown in this hole, and I've played this course quite a few times, not in the last year, but there was a period where this was kind of my home course, and this hole just got way easier for the big arms. I'm sorry, guys. Learn how to throw farther, and then you can throw that one too. It's good. Get a bayonet too. Might have to shoot Mike Olsa a text that this one needs to be redesigned. We need a mandatory here because this power hyzer is a bit too easy. Got 220 in. Let's see if this horny toad will hop. Kinda. A little bit soft there, but circle one, look for birdie. That's all we're looking for. Whoa! Squeezed it in there. Able to take birdie here after a drive that made the hole pretty simple. Can be a difficult one though, that's for sure. Our final hole out here at Met C is gonna be the double bubble, I like to call it. Teeing from out of bounds into a kind of a big inbounds bean, then progressing over another out of bounds patch to a smaller bean that is the green. That one's gonna be about circle 2 wide or maybe a little bit less all around the sides and kind of pinches on the back. Off the tee, power hyzer for a right hand player. Just make sure to give enough height, avoid going left out of bounds or flipping it. Bayonet is my disc of choice. Alpha is my plastic. Like the height, pretty wide there. It's got to beat those trees, and it does. That's going to be right in the middle. Maybe it could go a little longer, but don't need to be greedy in a hole like this. Just need to place it inbounds and go from there. Well, you used to look at this right side and kind of be worried about taking anything in the medium airspace. You had to spike it over the top or get finesse and risk it, unless you wanted to take this kind of traditional straight gap. But now there's literally one tree left, two trees left. They're both marked to go. There's nothing in the way on this hole anymore. I'm gonna go bull snake. That's what I like about that disc. You can just hit it hard, hit it flat. Don't worry about going long, because it's gonna get to the ground on its own. That's what it likes to do. Snakes don't fly after all. Woo! All right, I believe that left us with, what is that, an 8 down? Not too bad. Definitely got it going on the backside like I usually expect to out here at the Met-C. It's been a pleasure though, playing this course. It's been over a year since I've been out here. It's good to play some open lines. And honestly, it was good to see it before a lot of these trees that are marked to get chopped go, because this course is about to be like a kind of a longer Zilker Park. Still gonna be a good place to come practice your shots, work on playing in the wind, work on some of those sketchy greens, but the tee box is not gonna tell you what to do very often. And so I'm interested to see if they're gonna come cut more holes into those beautiful woods they have on the back of the property and keep shifting the course around. They're gonna come plant some new trees maybe, so we can have in time maybe, you know, a 5-10 year plan of having this course be kind of prime time course again. And in the meantime, just try to put in the love and care to get it back there, because it has been at times one of the better tournament courses in Texas and in Central Texas. And you know, we'd all love to see it get back to that form. This has been 18 holes at the MetCenter Disc Golf Course. I'm Connor O'Reilly for Team Lone Star Disc, Team OTB Discs, Team Discology, and soon to be announced, one more sponsor. Maybe next video we'll kind of tease it. Look at that bag. Iconic, some might say. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but more importantly, share it with your friends. Tell somebody about it, because that's more important than pressing the button in my mind and in my heart. And that's where all you guys are. Peace up.